The Leading Edge Cricket Podcast.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Leading Edge Cricket Podcast, episode 29, and this episode is dropping exactly the same time as the County Championship and Cricket News Podcast, so you're getting two podcasts for the price of one, and this one is all around the latest IPL action that is going on in India right now. I am Rob, one half of the Leading Edge Cricket Podcast, as always joined by my co-host Rich.
Hey Rob, how we going? Aren't we? We're just offering the world here, aren't we? Two podcasts in a day.
Oh, buy one, you get one free. You buy one, you get one free. So if you haven't already, check out the Cricket News Podcast and the County Cricket Podcast, because the Cricket News Podcast, we go nuts about 100-ball cricket in England and what that means. That is definitely worth listening to. So let's get stuck straight into it and review the latest games from the IPL.
Okay, so when we picked up last, we just wrapped up the 13th game, the KKR against Delhi Daredevils. Sunrisers Hyderabad were top of the table. Where are we now? Let's get caught up. 14th match, Mumbai Indians against Royal Challengers Bangalore in Mumbai. Mumbai Indians 213 for 6 off their 20. Evan Lewis 65 of 42 and a beautiful knock from Rohit Sharma 94 of 52. Yadav 2 for 36, Corey Anderson 2 for 47 for RCB. In response, a strange innings by RCB, 106-7 for 8. He just fizzled out. Middle order crumbled. But that man, Virat Kohli, he stood tall, stood alone, 92 off 62. Very strange game in a way in that one. Krunal Pandya 3 for 28, JJ Bumrah 2 for 28, and Mitch McLennan 2 for 24. Mumbai Indians won by 46 runs. Rohit Sharma, no surprise, man of the match.
Good performance by Mumbai Indians. They've been looking for this the whole time. They've had all those heartbreaking losses. And they were almost in the same position again, because incredibly, Ishan Kishan and Yadav were both out first ball. So they actually found themselves 2 wickets down, no runs on the board off 2 balls. But this was the Rohit Sharma they have been looking for and waiting for to show up. He was incredible for his 94. Very unlucky not to go on and get 100. He was out with 1 or 2 balls remaining, 94 runs, 5 sixes, 10 fours, massive partnership of 108 with Lewis at the top. That was able to get it done for the team. Virat Kohli, for the strength that the challengers have got in the batting, this was one of the most bizarre performances from them I think we're ever going to see. Virat Kohli was head and shoulders above anything else on the field from their side, because everyone else incredibly failed. And it's got to go down to the great bowling of Krunal, who was superb. 3 for 28, 9 dot balls. JJ Bumrah, 12 dot balls. It was the dot balls that built the pressure and led to the wickets.
Yeah, top performance. And I believe I may, last podcast, just have said that Rohit Sharma, a few question marks around Rohit Sharma. So then the very next day, he hits 94. That's how you respond, isn't it?
It is. He must have heard, mate, and he went, I'll tell you what, that bloody Leading Edge podcast, if they're going to put me and question me, I'm going to show them.
Yeah, so we're basically saying that the Leading Edge podcast is the podcast of choice for Rohit Sharma.
That is what we're saying.
Official.
The podcast of choice.
So, right, on to the 15th game, the Rajasthan Royals against the Kolkata Knight Riders in Jaipur. So, Rajasthan Royals batted first, 160 for 8 off their 20. Rahane, 36 off 19. A steady 44 of 43 for Darcy Short, and Josh Butler, 24 not out off 18. Nitesh Rana 2 for 11 off 2 overs, Tom Curran 2 for 19 off 2, and Chawla 1 for 18. So, in response, what could KKR do? 164 for 3. They walked it, buddy. Sunil Narine 35 of 25, Robin Uthappa 48 of 36, Nitesh Rana again, great all-round performance, 35 not out, 27, and Dinesh Karthik 42 not out off 23 balls. Gautam 2 for 23 for the Royals with the ball. So KKR won by 7 wickets, 7 balls remaining, tight controlled bowling display from the whole KKR bowling unit, especially the spinners not named Narine. Rana and Chawla were solid. Sunil got a little bit of tap, but a good win for Kolkata.
Yeah, great win. I worry about this Rajasthan team in this tournament. I really do think they have got a serious issue around the batting, and they shouldn't have. And we'll see later on in times to do well, but I'm not sold on what they're doing. I'm not sold on Ben Stokes being in there. I think he's been way overvalued. Yes, he was MVP last year, but he's not played a hell of a lot of cricket and he's not performing in this tournament. Josh Butler came in with a quick fire 24, but Darcy Short and Rahane doing a decent job at the top of the order. But it's not enough. Not against this Calcutta team. Nareen's on fire. Lin has been batting superbly in the tournament. He was out for 2. That was a big disappointment. But one of my favourite players of the tournament so far, Robin Atapa, is absolutely on fire. He's striking the ball as well as anyone. And Mr. Consistent for the Calcutta team, Dinesh Karthik, every single time he comes to the crease, it's not rushed. It's just personified, and this was more advanced from him. This was quicker than he normally scores, but he's just there every single time this need him. He is the man to step up in the middle of the innings. He's like a Michael Bevan of the T20 world, mate. He's a finisher.
Finisher, love it. Right, moving on. Kings 11, they played Sunrisers. So when we left it, as we said, Sunrisers were top. So the form team, how could they get on in this one? Well, they came up against some bloke called Chris Gale again in his second performance. So Kings 11 batting first, 193 for 3. Gale, 104, the first century of the tournament. And Karun Nair, 31 off 21. Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, respectable figures of 1 for 25, but Rashid Khan, 1 for 55. He got some absolute tap in this game. Chris Gale, not a bad effort from him. Just go 1-4, Rob. Only hit the rope once, but he cleared it 11 times. Not messing about with those fours. Formidable total there. And the difference was Chris Gale going on. We'd seen a lot of scores in this tournament up to now where players had got to the 70s and 80s or so. Yeah. Gale went on and got that extra 20 or 30 runs, and that was the difference. Kings 11 won by 15 runs after Sunrisers finished at 178 for 4. Kane Williamson batted well, 54 or 41. Pandy, I think that's a Manish, isn't it? 57 not out. Yeah. And Shakib Al Hassan, 24 not out off 12 balls. Andrew Tai, 2 for 23, and Mohit Sharma, 2 for 51 with the wicket. So, win by 15. Chris Gale, unreal knock. Second match winning knock in 5 days. Second man of the match for him in his 2 performances. And a decent effort from Sunrisers, but Gale was the difference.
Oh, the universe boss is back. And back with a bang. It's incredible to think that the guy almost wasn't drafted into the IPL until the mad professor, as you've quoted him on Twitter, brought him into the contest, and bang, he goes 104. And this is a slightly different Chris Gale that we're seeing from before. The Chris Gale from a few years ago, he's 38 now, he would have gone after every single ball. That's just the way he played. Well, actually, he's a bit more calculated about the shots that he's taking, and he's quite happy to play out dot balls and then go big. He's waiting for certain deliveries. And this, after a pretty sluggish start, they only had 53 off 7.5 overs, managed to turn into just shy of 200. And it was when Rashid Khan came into the attack, that is where Gale attacked. He hit him for 7 sixes. Khan, one of the bowlers of the tournament so far, 13.75 economy rate. No one else was anywhere near being on the Gale level. He was absolutely incredible. And Sunrisers, they gave it a go. They're struggling at the top. Darwan went down, retired hurt. Saha, not quite getting it done. Not sold on him being the future of Indian cricket as a wicketkeeper. We'll get on to who I think is going to be that person. Kane Williamson, solid. But it was good bowling. They stuck to a game plan. Tai was incredible. 5.75 economy rate. Saran, 5.5. Or Rahman, 6.75. The team got it done, and it was all on the back of the universe, boss.
It was. Right, moving on. There's a nice little story with this one first. Chennai Super Kings' home game against Rajasthan Royals, but their home game obviously is now in Pune. So massive hat tip first off to CSK. They put on a chartered special train for this game. They took around 1,000 of their fans over 1,000 kilometres across country to Pune so they could watch and support their home match in this game against the Royals. The fans basically made a request to plans to be made for them to watch the game, and the franchise went, do you know what? Let's make the arrangement. I thought it'd be a good gesture to give back to them. So they also received free tickets to the game as well as food and accommodation. So huge credit to Chennai Super Kings for this one. And we will see. It may be that this happens a little bit more often. And it was not a wasted trip. Would have been one of hell of a return trip if you go there and get smashed. But they didn't. Chennai posted 204 for 5 batting first. Centurions in this tournament, mate, are like London buses. You wait ages for 1 and 2 come along. Shane Watson followed up Chris Gale, this time 106 off 57. Unreal knock from Watson. Suresh Raina as well, 46 off 29. And DJ Bravo, 24 not out off 16. Ben Laughlin, 2 for 38. And Shreyas Gopal again in the wickets, 3 for 20. In response, Rajasthan Royals limped to 140 all out off 18.3 overs. Ben Stokes 45 of 37, Butler 22 off 17. Wickets shared around. Chahar 2 for 30, Thakur 2 for 18 off 3, DJ Bravo 2 for 16 off 2, and Khan Sharma 2 for 13. So Chennai won by 64 runs. Man of the match, unsurprisingly, Shane Watson. Unreal. Shane Watson, just like Gale, he's put CSK over the top by going on to make that big score rather than going up to your 60, 70, 80 and getting out. So wonderful knock. 9 fours, 6 sixes, and a solid bowling unit from CSK. A team win for the Super Kings.
Yeah, good team win. I think it might have been myself that was speaking highly of Shane Watson going into this tournament after he had such a great PSL and a good big bash. I was like, you know what, Shane Watson, he could be on for a pretty good tournament. And boom, it's the old-timers brigade at the moment. Gale goes big, Watson goes big. Aptly supported by Rayner. Rayner was superb, 46 runs, 9 coming from his boundaries. And the team was just able to push on past 200. To me, every time I see 200 against Rajasthan, I've got to go, you're 75% of the way there to a victory with 200 on the board against Rajasthan. For Rajasthan, they've got to look at their bowling and go, we've got a few problems here. They have no one able to bowl dot balls. Yes, there were boundaries. There were 6 sixes, 9 fours from Shane Watson. But the big part of it is only one bowler, Gopal, at the end, managed to bowl more than 10 dot balls. The openers, 2 dot balls, 3 dot balls. Undercat, 8 dot balls. Ben Stokes, 4 dot balls, going at an economy rate of 13. They've got problems all along the team, and it continued into the batting. Ben Stokes, yeah, he made 45. It was off 37 balls chasing 200. That is not quite good enough, and it's unfair to single him out. But in a team that's struggling and someone who's got so much money invested in him and Josh Butler really need to be the two that stand up. But man of the match, Shane Watson, 106 runs, 1 for 13 off 3 overs, 9 dot balls, 4.33 economy rate. Oh, it's a career day.
Wano's still got it. Right, on to the next game. Kolkata Knight Riders against Kings 11 Punjab in Kolkata. So, KKR batting first, 191 for 7. Chris Lynn, that man you just mentioned, he was in the runs in this one, 74 off 41, top knock. And again, Robin Uthappa, 34 off 23, and Kartik again, 43 off 28. Andrew Tive, 2 for 30. He just keeps picking wickets up, and Barinder Shran, 2 for 50. Kings 11 in response, 126 for 1 off 11.1 overs of a revised target of 13 overs. So basically a Duckworth-Lewis game. So I'll go into detail in this one. So rain forced an early finish of the Kings 11 knock, but they were well in control. So it was a readjusted game. And in the end, basically, when they left the field, they were well ahead. 126 for 1 at the time. Lokesh Rahul, 60 off 27, and Chris Gale, 62 not out off 38. So if I've explained that badly, I apologise. But basically, Kings 11 won by 9 wickets with 11 balls remaining due to a rain-affected game.
It was a rain-affected game. So I started watching this. I think it was the early game. So most of the IPL games kick off 2:30 New Zealand time, but the ones on the weekend, there's 2 games, and one of them kicks off around 10 p.m. So this was my, I think it was my Saturday night watching this. It was Friday or Saturday night. Anyway, Chris Lynn was smashing it, and I mean smashing it. I was really disappointed that Nareen got out early, but Chris Lynn was on fire. It looked like he was struggling a little bit at times, maybe with a bit of fitness, but he was great. He was absolutely on fire. Robin Tapper again came in looking like $1 million. Good 30-odd. That man, Dinesh Karthik, every single time he's there or thereabouts, and he was able to push on and make a good 43. I'd love to know how many runs he's got on the season, because he must be just about in that top 5 list, and it's just consistent every single game. The big wicket of Andre Russell at the end was huge. He looked like he was just about to get going when he got out. So fair play to the Kings 11 Punjab team. They bowled well. They kept them below 191, and they gave themselves a chance. But big shout out, Andrew Tye is having a fantastic IPL for this Kings 11 Punjab team. 3 for 27.5 economy rate, 9 dot balls. Dot balls build pressure, and pressure brings wickets. The revised total is down to the universal boss again, isn't it? It's 3 innings, 3 match-winning innings from Chris Gale. 62 not out, 38 balls, 6 sixes, 5 fours. The guy is an absolute beast. There was nowhere anyone could bowl. Andre Russell, poor old Andre Russell, just bowling at a couple of his mates. 1.5 overs, none for 31. Take a break, son. You pretend you've pulled your hamstring and we'll get someone else in to bowl because the universe boss is on fire.
Just a bit. Right then, next game, RCB against Delhi, the struggling Delhi Daredevils. They batted first, 174 for 5. Yeah, not a bad knock. Would it be enough? Shreyas Iyer, 52 off 31, and Rishabh Pant, 85 off 48. That boy's making a name for himself. Chahal, 2 for 22 off 3 overs. In response, RCB made pretty short work of this, 176 for 4, 2 overs remaining, won by 6 wickets. Quinton de Kock, 18 off 60, Virat Kohli, 30 off 26. And that man, AB de Villiers, what a knock. 90 not out of 39 balls, brilliantly supported by Mandeep Singh. He looks a nice player as well. 17 not out of 9 balls. AB, pretty good. 10 fours and 5 sixes. Just worth noting as well, Rishabh Pant, 85, shouldn't be overlooked. 85, 6 fours and 7 sixes. But obviously, AB de Villiers gets man of the match. Trent Boult, 1 for 33. In the wickets. But I believe this was also the game Trent Boult took the ridiculous catch.
He did.
One of the best ever to remove Virat Kohli. So really good win for RC. Raw challenges, yeah. So, Rob, good
top performance.
result.
One thing that stuck out to me about the Delhi innings, Jason Roy was gone, Gambia's gone. They're in a bit of a hole. Rashid Pant, ban at 4. This is the best that I've seen him play in the IPL this year. He was incredible, and I'm not just talking about hitting a cricket ball. I'm talking about skillfully manipulating where that ball is compared to where the field is. He played scoops, he played sweeps, he played slogs, he played drives. The guy was an absolute $1 million in this game. It's got to be said, it was superb. Chris Woke slightly unlucky. I thought he bowled well. He got none for 40. But 174, it's kind of here nor there. And there's one guy I'm going to come back to, and I'm going to say Corey Anderson. I'm not quite sure what's going on in the IPL, mate. I'm not sure you're going to be playing much more cricket. He was 1 for 10 off 1 over near the end, so he got a token over as an all-rounder. That's interesting. RCB, they went about this in fine style. After Quinton de Kock got himself ran out, Kohli, incredibly, he leathered the ball. Deep backward square, Trent Boult, one hand above his head, kind of turning, twisting, upside down, and then lands and manages to get his chest up as he's sliding over the boundary rope so he doesn't touch the rope, and then goes, I've caught it! And it's just an incredible moment for him. But AB de Villiers was on, we talk about Chris Gale as the universe boss. AB de Villiers is the best cricket batsman in the world. Absolutely, hands down. The things he can do skillfully is so much better than anyone else. It did not matter. The guy tried to bowl a wide outside off stump, and he still managed to hit it for 6 over mid-wicket. The guy played every single shot that was in the book, and there was nothing the bowlers could do. They were just going round the park.
Yeah. On to the next game then. Sunrisers Hyderabad against Chennai Super Kings, in-form CSK. 182 for 3 for those boys. Suresh Raina, really nice knocker, controlled 54 not out of 43. But Ambati Rayudu, 79 off 37, star man for them. Supported ably at the end by MS Dhoni with a nice little brief 25 not out of 12. Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, 1 for 22 off 3. Sunrisers fell just short, 178 for 6. So Chennai won by 4 runs. Kane Williamson almost outdid Rayudu, 84 off 51. Shakib Al Hassan, 24 off 19. Yusuf Pathan, a nice little twirl at the end, 45 off 27. And Rashid Khan, 17 not out off 4 balls at the end. Deepak Chahar, 3 for 15. Great effort from Sunrisers. They've had a couple of bad results here, but they're certainly still in this with the performances. They're certainly not being overly outclassed. But it was all about Rayudu. Nicely put on ESPN, a masterclass from him. Top effort. They kept Shane Watson quiet at the top as well. And the first nice and steady first 10 overs of the innings as well. But Chennai just went ballistic after that to post the big score and to get the win.
Yeah, Rayudu's knock was incredible. 79 off 37 balls. We're not talking about a big innings. We're talking about a massive innings. 213 strike rate for 79 runs. Raina was good. 54 off 43. He did the job that was required to allow MS Dhoni and Rayudu just to go crazy. He played that get-off strike role, get-off strike, and did pick up some boundaries along the way. Disappointing bowling performance. Rashid Khan just gone off the boil a little bit in the last few games. 1 for 49 from him for a man that was so confident for so long. Sunrisers, they would be a little bit lost without Kane Williamson right now. 3 50s in 3 games for him. He's incredible. And one of the games before that was a 36 not out. So he's having a really top IPL. But then there was nothing. And you've just got to go. Shahar was absolutely superb at the top of the innings with the ball. 3 for 15, 17 dot balls. Deepak Shahar, that is absolutely superb. You can look at the run scored by Rayudu, but to me, I can't look past Shahar and the damage that he did at the top of the order.
Yeah, top stuff. Top win as well for CSK. They're really on a roll at the moment. On to the next game. Rajasthan Royals, Mumbai Indians. Mumbai batting first, 167 for 7. Yadav, 72 off 47. Ishan Kishan, more in the runs again, 58 off 42. And Kyron Pollard, 21 not out of 20. Kulkarni, 2 for 32. And Jofra Archer announced himself on the scene this year, 3 for 22. Royals, in response, won by 3 wickets with 2 balls remaining, 168 for 7. Sanju Samson, 52 off 39. Stokes, again with a 40 off 27. Gautam, 33 not out off 11. JJ Bumrah, 2 for 28. Hardik, Pandya, 2 for 25 at 2.4, but it was Jofra Archer. And really, it was the arrival of the Gautam and Jofra Archer game for Rajasthan. Archer, he cost plenty in the auction, show why in this first outing, but more runs again for Ishan Kishan and Yadav, but not enough for Mumbai.
Yeah, solid. Solid by Mumbai at the top, but they're going to look at this as another game where they're so close. So close, but they just can't put in 40 overs of cricket to win the game. They're just falling apart at the wrong times. And right here, for all the runs that Ishan Kishan scored, you've got to go Jofra Archer's bowling at the end. This was the 18th or 19th over of the innings, and he picked up 3 wickets in 1 over right at the end where they're expecting to go massive, and it absolutely threw the game apart. This 167 scorecard could have been quite easy 190, and we've got a different game on our hands. So fair play to him. Sanju Samson, massive fan of what he's doing. He got 52. Ben Stokes, 40. Still expect a little bit better from Ben Stokes. Josh Butler failed again. And it was a really close game. It went all the way down to the wire. Good effort by Rajasthan. This is just what they needed. A smaller total to go at after Jofra Archer's damage. Ben Stokes, 40. I still expect more from him. Yes, he's coming into a little bit of form, but I want to see him go to that next level. I want him to warrant being paid £1 million or whatever he gets in the IPL. Sanju Samson, one of my favourite players in the IPL at the moment. Absolutely superb, 52. He's having a great IPL and really improving his stock. In fact, I published a tweet earlier today saying I think he's a 3-format player for this Indian cricket team going forward. But Gautam at the end, that is where it's at. He went big. They were 158 for 7 with 5 balls remaining and ended up 168 for 7 with 2 balls remaining. So Gautam, 33 off 11 balls, 4 fours, 2 sixes, 300 strike rate. Absolutely epic.
Yeah, top performance. Like we said, the real arrival game, wasn't it, for Gautam and Jofra Archer. So the last game before we obviously for where we are now, Delhi Daredevils against the Kings 11 Punjab in Delhi. Kings 11 batted first, 143 off 8. Not a easy service here. Rahul 23 off 15, Agarwal 21 off 16, Karun Nair 34 off 32, and David Miller 26 off 19. Worth noting, this was a Chris Gale less Kings 11 Punjab, so he was rested on this game. With the ball for Delhi, Trent Bolt 2 for 21 in the wickets again off 3 overs, Avesh Khan 2 for 36, and Liam Plunkett in his first outing so far 3 for 17. In response, Delhi Daredevils, it was close, 139 for 8. So they fell just short. PP Shaw 22 off 10, SSIR 57 off 45, and Robin Tuatia 24 off 21. Anjkit Rajput 2 for 23, Andrew Tai 2 for 25, and Majib Ur Rahman 2 for 25. Kings 11 won by 4 runs. It went down to the last ball. The ball, it was smashed. It nearly had the distance, but Aaron Finch just got underneath it to take the catch and to make sure that Kings 11 fell just short. If he wasn't there, would it have crossed the rope? I'm not quite sure, but it was a damn good effort. Great first appearance from the big man, Liam Plunkett.
Yeah, top stuff by Plunkett. That's where you've got to start as an Englishman. You've got to go, I would have quite liked to see him in the Ashes campaign over in Australia, but that's a different story altogether. It's a good win. Very, very good win for Kings 11. Good for them to do it without Gale. Good for the heart, good for the soul, and good for the squad to keep morale high that they can win without the superstar. Good to see David Miller involved in the game. Big fan of him. He got a good 26. But it's not a massive score. 143 for 8. I'm looking at this going, bloody hell, they've made a mess of this. They've made a mess of it. But incredibly, Delhi weren't able to get over the line. Iyer was the man. He got 57, but no one else was really able to make a run at it. Everybody throwing their wickets away, the pressure continuing to be able to build. They were 76 for 5 off 12 overs. Even at that stage, it's a 50-50 game, and they just fell ever so slightly short, and it's got to go a massive thank you to the bowlers. Ashwin, he didn't get a wicket, but none for 19 as a spinner, going at 4.75 and over. 11 dot balls by Andrew Tye. We keep saying his name time and time again. He's having an absolute epic IPL. Superb performance and a superb 4-wicket victory.
Yeah, absolutely, buddy. It's big. The competition it's just warming up now, isn't it? You know, the first half, the first 14 games that we were following, there was the big scores, but they didn't quite go on. Now we've suddenly seen a couple of centurions. We're seeing some players that we were asking, earlier on, saying like Rishabh Pant, go on, mate, stop getting your 30s and 40s, go on and make a big score. We're starting to see that. We're starting to see players starting to make names for themselves. So the tournament is really hotting up even. So where are we in the standings, Rob? Shall we have a look?
Yeah, let's have a look.
Let's have a look.
Who's at the bottom? Let's start bottom up.
Bottom up. So Delhi Daredevils, poor old Delhi, they've got some weight on top of them at the minute. So they've played 6 games, they've only won the 1, lost 5. So they really are struggling on 2 points. On 2 points with them though, but they've played a game less, is the Mumbai Indians, won 1, lost 4. RCB in 6th place on 4 points. They've played 5 games, won 2, lost 3. Then it's Rajasthan Royals, 6 games. They're a 50-50 team, mate. 6 points, 3 wins, 3 defeats. So we don't quite know what we've got with them yet. Sunrisers, after winning the first 3 games, they've now played 5, won 3, lost 2. So they're also on 6 points. And joining them on 6 points in 3rd place is Kolkata Knight Riders. Played 6, again, another 50-50 team. Won 3, lost 3. Chennai, they're making a run. They are in 2nd place, 5 matches, 4 wins, 1 defeat, 8 points. But it's the Kings 11. They've worked them way up there, and they are won 5, lost 1 on 10 points. So Kings 11 and Chennai are the form teams. Sunrisers, I don't think we should discount them, not just because it's my pick, but they've been unlucky in their last couple of games after winning the first 3. So all to play for, but yeah, tough going at the minute for Mumbai and the Delhi Daredevils.
Yeah, I expect Mumbai to bounce back from this, but you just never know. You just never know. Just because a team looks good on paper doesn't always correspond to the results. And I'm going to take a leaf out of Nottingham Forest books here, Rich. Nottingham Forest back in the 1990s, people were saying they're too big a team to go down. They're too good to go down.
Shut up.
They went down. Mumbai, they're a great team. They've got a great history. But there is a chance that they may not be able to pull this around because it's a mental thing. When you're in a bad patch of form, things go against you and you end up losing on the last ball. You end up losing by 2 or 3 runs. It's just how sport works.
Yeah, I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure Mumbai went on a ridiculous run at the back end last year. So if they can do the same, then they've got a chance. But at the moment, they're up against it. And the thing is, there's too many good teams at the moment as well. So if you're a team that's going through some issues and you're working out some problems and you're not quite hitting form, you haven't got time to get yourself in form because there are too many clubs playing good cricket and playing well at the moment. So it's going to be tough for those guys down at the bottom.
And the games just keep coming, don't they? Daily.
Yeah.
You see back to back, we might go from game 19 to game 21 and the team's played twice in 3 days. It's a harsh schedule, but it's a fun schedule. So, Rich, if we look at the statistics and the top run scorers.
Yes.
Guess who's number 1?
Sanju Samson. I got that one right. Whee!
Yay, there we go. I'm 1 for 6. Sanju Samson.
Only just, though. Only just.
Only just. He's in absolutely incredible form. But the top 5 guys, right? Every single game we go, he got runs. He got runs. He got runs. So what we're seeing is consistency from the guys at the top. Yes, people need to make hundreds. That's what it's about. But to be the top and be the best team, you need your guys performing week in, week out, game in, game out. And that's what you're seeing. You look at this list, you've got Samson, Rahul, Kohli, Williamson and Gale as the top 5. Then you've got Pant, De Villiers, Rayudu, Yadav, Murali Kartik, not Murali, just
Dinesh Kartik.
It's the guys that every single
Even
time...
Even you're calling him Murali.
I know. I can't help it. I'm going to get butchered for that. They're just guys at the top that you see every single game chipping in. Even the days they don't make 50s, 60s or 100, they still manage to get 30 or 40 and help the team out. That's why they're at the top.
Yeah. I mean, the top run scorers, Samson 239 runs, Locust Rahul 236, Virat Kohli 231, Williamson 230, Gale 229, Pant 227, De Villiers 212, and Rayudu as well 201. All the guys above 200. It's not a ridiculous amount of runs at the moment, is it? They're one or two might just kick on. But when we've looked at other years, I mean, what was it? A couple of years ago, 973 runs from Virat Kohli.
Yep.
So it doesn't feel like we've got some players kind of getting consistent knocks, but we haven't got consistent big knocks at the moment. So we shall see how this tournament develops. But there are players that are starting, the cream's starting to rise to the top, aren't they?
They definitely are. The top dogs are at the top of the list, and it's almost a similar situation to county cricket where the scores are quite low. It's a completely different thing where it's not a green seamer, the ball's not swinging around, and it's not raining, you're having days rained off. But it is a similar thing where there are low scores, and that's probably down to start of the tournament. You probably see the scores of 200 plus go up over the next 6-7 games that the guys play. But also down to some high-quality bowling, and I actually think the IPL has really benefited from the standard of fielding going through the roof in the last 5 years, and some of the catches, some of the boundary stops you see, that goes a massive way to play in the score being 180, being more competitive than what it used to be.
Yeah, it's a fair call. So just looking at the batters as well, who's winning the chase for the most sixes? And Chris Gayle in 3 innings has now hit 21. He's gone from nothing to topping that list. Andre Russell is close in second place with 19. So there is a bit of competition there. But after that, De Villiers on 15, and then we've got a few lads, Samson perhaps on 12. I think that's about it. A couple of lads on 11, Evan Lewis, Shane Watson, Rishabh Pant and Locust Rahul. So it's Chris Gale's to lose at the moment, that one.
It is. Andre Russell's is quite incredible. The guy's only got 163 runs in the competition, but he's got 19 sixes. So that tells me 114 runs out of his 160 have come from sixes, which is just nuts.
He's not messing about, is he? He's not messing about. So on to the other side, the underheralded, the unpopular, the bowling side. It's not a bowler's game, is it, T20? But let's look at how they're getting on. Trent Boult and Andrew Tye for Delhi and Kings 11, respectively, 9 wickets apiece. Where would Delhi be without Trent Boult? I mean, I know they're bottom, but we've got some respectability coming from Boult at the minute, haven't we?
Yeah.
So they're the 2 top guys. And then we've got a couple of spinners. Mokhande for Mumbai, he's got 8 wickets. Sunil Narine, 8 wickets. And Umesh Yadav, 8 wickets as well. Chris Wokes, 8 wickets, although he seems to be quiet last couple of games. Bumrah on 7. Krunal Pandya on 6. Bhuvaneshwar Kumar on 6 as well. Only played 4 games, though. So again, no one's kind of blasting anybody away, really, are they? But there's some really good, consistent performances coming out from the likes of Tye, Boult, and Mokhande in particular.
Yeah, definitely. And I think the economy rates as well. The economy rates are definitely down. We're seeing lower scores, so bowlers are doing a better job of picking up dot balls than what they used to, even though there's a Gale and a Russell hitting sixes all around the park. But incredibly, he's played 1 game, but Liam Plunkett has the best economy rate in the whole competition so far, shortly followed by Jofra Archer, who's also played 1 game. But if you look at the guys who have played multiple games, it's names that you would expect to see. Incredibly, Glenn Maxwell is right up there on that list. Majib-ur-Rahman is up there on the list. Narine's on the list. Gopal's on the list. So you're seeing a lot of the spinners controlling the economy rate. And because the spinners come on earlier in T20 cricket than what they used to back in the day, so they open the bowling with a spinner, the spin in the middle, the spin at the end. Again, it's just another thing that adds to the lower scores.
Yeah, I've just got to mention Majibur Rahman as well. He's one of the young lads that's come across from Afghanistan, and he's been tremendous. He's still only 17 years old, and he's playing like he's been around for a long time. It's great to see him. It's great to see Rashid Khan doing so well in the tournament, although Rashid's found it a little bit tough in the last couple of games. So yeah, it's been a great tournament so far for the spinners, isn't it? Like I say, Mayank Markande, he's a young fella as well. He's only just 20, the leggy bowler. So he's been bowling really well. 3 for 23, 4 for 23, and none for a 1 for and a none for. So a little bit rough over the last couple, but the first 2 games, 7 wickets in 2 games. So really impressive performances. And like I say, I think the standard of fielding has improved and helped the bowlers, and the standard of the bowling, I think, is high at the moment as well.
Definitely is. It's a good competition. And this is where the rubber hits the road. And the teams are in, right? You've played 5 or 6 games. You should know your lineup for what you want to do and where you want to rest players. Like Kings 11 rested Gale when they needed to. He'll be back into the next contest. So teams should be at their optimum level, kind of getting into the next 3 or 4 games, and will really separate the pack. Because at the moment, 2 points, 4 points here or there, it's not really that big a deal. There's nothing to stop Mumbai winning 6 straight and being right near the top. So it's interesting time and an exciting time.
Yeah, it's a big couple of games coming up for Sunrisers as well. I've kind of mentioned them a few times because they were top of the league and they've just dropped off a little bit, but they're not far away from doing so. And the next couple of games, they've got Mumbai in Mumbai, which is certainly winnable, and then they go to Kings 11, top of the table. Sorry, they play at home against Kings 11. So couple of massive performances. I believe Bhuvaneshwar Kumar is being rested today for the trip to Mumbai. So hopefully they'll get the win there, and then it's going to be a hell of a game. Sunrisers against Kings 11 on April 26th, in a couple of days' time. Big games. Chennai have got Raw Challenge Bangalore tomorrow. Big games coming up. It just doesn't get any, doesn't slow down, does it? We're 23 games in. We've got plenty left. Does not slow down this tournament.
But that'll do it from ourselves, guys. As always, thank you so much for all the likes, the views, the comments. Much appreciated. We love interacting with you guys. If you haven't already, subscribe on YouTube, subscribe on Apple, subscribe on Android, and follow us on Twitter and follow us on Facebook. You guys have been legends. Until next time.